The UK Budget 2025, the hidden collapse. The UK is fading. How the 2025 budget killed the British dream. Felix Exposé, the funeral of a nation. They told you the storm had passed, inflation fell, stability was promised. But today, the truth finally surfaced. The 2025 UK budget wasn't a plan, it was a funeral. A funeral for the working class, for small business, for every citizen who still believed this country had a future. What the Chancellor delivered was an obituary. An obituary for disposable income, productivity, and the illusion that hard work pays. The story of Britain today is not prosperity, it is decline. Chapter 1. The Vampire Tax, Fiscal Drag. The government promised no headline tax rises. They smiled for the cameras, but behind the curtain, they executed the largest stealth tax increase in modern political history. They didn't raise tax rates. They froze your thresholds until 2031. This is called fiscal drag. Imagine your wages are rising because of inflation. You try to stay afloat, but because tax thresholds are frozen, the government quietly takes more each year. You rise, but you never break the surface. The numbers are catastrophic. £8.3 billion in hidden taxes extracted by 2029. 780,000 new taxpayers, many of them low income. 920,000 new higher-rate taxpayers. The effective tax on a £50,000 salary is rising. Low-income part-time workers are now being pushed into paying income tax for the first time. And even the elderly, once protected, will be silently sacrificed, with thousands of pensioners paying income tax for the first time in their lives. This was deliberate. Chapter 2. The death of the middle class and small business. For decades, Britain prided itself on a strong middle class. Nurses, engineers, police, people who asked only for stability, a home, a car, a pension. Under this budget, the middle class is being dismantled piece by piece. They earn too much to be protected, but too little to survive. They have vanishing savings rates, relying on credit to cover bills. The economic squeeze has become unbearable. Now let's talk about the engine of the economy. Businesses. Businesses survive on customers with disposable income. This budget destroys it. Declining consumer spending, high rents, wage inflation, frozen thresholds. This is a death sentence for small businesses. Expect more closures, more bankruptcies, and high streets becoming ghost towns. Small, independent shops cannot survive an economy where customers choose between heating and groceries. Only the giants, Tesco, McDonald's, Amazon, survive, accelerating the extinction of small enterprise. Chapter 3. The Property Trap and Public Services Implosion. You may not feel sympathy for landlords, but when landlords collapse, tenants suffer too. Landlords face a financial minefield, high mortgage rates, rising taxes, frozen thresholds. Thousands will exit the market entirely. This leads to a brutal domino effect. Fewer rental properties, higher rents, and more homelessness. Britain is becoming a nation of permanent renters in a rental market collapsing under its own weight. For young people, homeownership is now unachievable, requiring $60,000 to $150,000 plus for a deposit. Public services are in decline. The NHS is beyond breaking point, crippled by staff shortages and record waiting lists. The budget's small funding injections are not enough to even maintain the current broken system. Schools face real-term funding cuts, leading to worsening teacher shortages and growing class sizes. Transport infrastructure is falling apart physically. A nation that cannot educate its children cannot grow. A nation that cannot grow collapses. Chapter 4. The Collapse of Trust and the Exodus. The most dangerous collapse is psychological. People are losing faith. Trust in government is crumbling because they say one thing, do another, and hide the truth under clever accounting. When a government must deceive to raise taxes, it has already lost control. People no longer believe their wages will grow, they can afford a home, or their children will have a better life. This triggers a doom loop of lower growth and more distrust. This leads to the brain drain, the quiet exodus. Talented individuals, nurses, entrepreneurs, academics are leaving. They are moving to Canada, Australia, Germany, because they see no path forward in Britain. When a nation's best people leave, the decline becomes permanent. Chapter 5. Preparing for the storm and the final warning. This budget prepares Britain for managed decline. So how do you prepare for the storm? Workers. Expect a decade of declining real wages and increasing financial fragility. Your wage will not save you anymore. Families. Expect a new era of sacrifice, higher bills, rising rents, and no realistic path to homeownership. Investors. Expect extreme volatility and poor returns in UK equities. In a dying economy, real wealth hides outside the system. By 2030, the UK may be poorer, angrier, more divided, and more unstable than at any point in the last century. When people cannot afford shelter, food, or dignity, they revolt. The risk of civil unrest grows. Conclusion. The point of no return. The UK is closer to the point where recovery becomes mathematically impossible. Debt is growing faster than GDP. Productivity is too low. Trust is gone. This budget was a final warning. Britain is not standing on the edge of recession or stagnation. It is on the edge of a slow, grinding collapse. Economic, social, psychological. It will not explode. It will not shatter. It will fade. Stay awake. Stay aware. This is Felix. See you next time. If you liked this content, don't forget to like and subscribe.